Hello, hello, hello. How are you? This is Patricia, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in the United States, and more specifically here in Alaska, near Palmer. I am going to show you today a stamp set that is really easily overlooked because it's not really specific to anything. But here's the cool thing about that. Because it's not specific to anything, you can add it with, yes, thank you very much, a whole bunch of stamp sets. And so I am going to show you something with all of these, and we're going to go through one of them, but then, and I'll show you what they are here in a few minutes more specifically. And then show you the cards that I made with them. So, Celebration is current through September 30th, 2021. If you do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in the United States and would like a catalog, please ask. I will be more than happy to send you that. On the, did I already show you? On page 102 is the stamp set that we're going to look at. It's called Watercolor Shapes. And you look at this and you're going, yeah, I don't know anything to do with that. No worries. I'm going to show you just a very few. But something I want you to notice on here is, can you see this little outline of the scalloped oval? That is one of the punches in the double oval punch. It does the punch will punch out the inside, and then it will punch out the outside as well. Here's another very light pink. That is one of the stitched, it's called, not stitched, layering circle dies. Okay, so that's on page 102 in the full catalog. And then, of course, we've got the mini catalog, which has often in the past been referred to as the Christmas catalog, although there's a lot more than Christmas in here, but it does have a lot of Christmas. So if you're making your Christmas cards this year, or if you want me to make your Christmas cards, we can do that as well. So we're going to start out with watercolor shapes, and I'm going to show you now. The last one, let me move it. I'm going to show you some cards, just a few, that I made with this. Notice there's the rectangle, the square, and the circle. Now there are several others that are smaller, but I didn't do anything with those on this particular one. This one is cinnamon cider. I want you to notice there are no other colors in this besides the one color. The base is whatever is on that top card, and then this one is with the square. And with many of these, I stamped off and then stamped it so that when I stamped with whatever shape I was using, then you would really be able to see that. Now that particular other options is with Forever Fern. Love this stamp set. Oh, and Brushed Blooms. Brushed Blooms is the flower. Forever Fern are all the other things. And Thanks. Where did Thanks come from? Thanks. Some of the sentiments came from Biggest Wish. And this Thanks that my thumb is covering up is the one that I used on that one. Okay, so this one, Kindness is Always in Style. This is Highland Heather. So Highland Heather, and it is Dressed to Impress. The shoe, the perfume, the lipstick, and the single flower. And the sentiment is also Kindness is Always in Style. All of these, the same color of ink is the color of the cardstock that I used. So I won't repeat that anymore. But I wanted to let you know, and that's one of the reasons that when I am sharing the supplies that I have used, I will always put in there the ink and the cardstock, because it's been my experience that if I have the matching cardstock and the ink, then I can always do, this is a 2-layer card. This one is Bumblebee, and it's that same flower This one out of Brushed Blooms. Sorry, let me see. Brushed Blooms and Forever Fern. And then Hello comes from Forever Fern. Okay. This one is, what color is this? This is Coastal Cabana, of course. How could I forget that? And then is using Forever Fern. Again, Brushed Blooms. And this one, Biggest Wish. So many of them I used the Biggest Wish. Okay, so that one. This one is with Polished Pink. And, oh, and it's the circle. This was the circle. The circle. Here's the rectangle. Square, rectangle, circle, circle, circle. Okay, so this one is the Brushed Blooms, Large Flower, again, Forever Fern, and let's see, which sentiment is this? You can do this, you can do this. I am not sure which one that is. I'll have to find that one for you. I thought I had them all out right here. Anyway, then this one, now this one I wanted to show you because it's going to be the same concept that we are doing with watercolor shapes, but it is the free celebration through the end of September stamps. So I used the circle. I did again use the, whoopsie, hello, Brushed Blooms flower on here. I used the splatter and, oh, I used this. And then Happy Birthday came from Blushed Blooms again. Blushed Blooms. Okay, so I used these three out of this free stamp set that you can get through the end of September to make this one. All right, oh, and this one was out of Pumpkin Pie. So I'll show you all those again in a minute. So what we have is our card base, which when folded is the size of a quarter of a sheet of cardstock. So it started out 8.5 by 11. I cut it at 5.5, which is half of 8.5. Then I folded it in half and burnished it with my bone folder. And then I have in basic white, I have a piece that is 1/4 inch less than that. So it is 5 1/4 by 4. 5 1/4 by 4. And I tend to cut a lot of these out. And then, oh, and this one, you'll notice I did all of these landscape. I'm going to do this one portrait because you can do it either way. And again, I'm going to start with my, I'm going to start with the rectangle this time, but I'm going to start with the same color of ink, which is Pool Party for this one. So it's the same ink throughout. And on this one, and I forgot to get myself a piece of paper. To stamp off on. My bad. Okay, the nice thing about this is it goes so fast you won't even believe. So I'm going to stamp. I'm going to turn that over. I'm supposed to stamp off on my paper. You never make mistakes like that, do you? Okay, so I'm going to put that on there, and I believe I will go right there. So straight down, I'm going to give it firm pressure. Can you see me? Yeah, you can see me. Okay, there we go. This one is going to be excessively light. All right, and that's okay. Then I'm going to, did I tell you which stamp set I'm using? This is Dragonfly Garden. I absolutely love this stamp set. But I'm going to give myself some good ink on there. And then I'm going to put it right on here. Okay. There we go. Looking good already. I love it. I'm going to go ahead and put my sentiment on here. May good things grow all year long. And that is also out of the Dragonfly. I am going to put it down here. There we go. Straight down, straight up, looking good. I love it. Then I'm going to go ahead. What I'm doing is I'm doing my larger pieces first. Okay, and I'm going to put my little dragonfly, he's kind of a big dragonfly. I'm going to put him up there. There we go. Now what I want to do is fill in with the rest of this. And you'll notice, fill in all this dottage. I love the word dottage. So I've got dottage all along here. Here, I just filled in the extra spaces, even on this one, okay, and that one. Okay, so this time my dottage is going to be the little dragonflies, just little, you know, flies kind of all over the place. And I'm going to, now I'm not going to do too much with them. I just want to put a little bit so that you kind of get the idea. Okay, and that's good enough right there. All right, once I'm done, I do want to clean all these off. So on my scrap, I can, you know, roll them pretty good and get as much ink off as I can. And then roll that pretty good, get as much ink off as you can. Then I am going to clean them off. I keep forgetting, it's a chamois. So clean those off. Clean those off. It's wet, and I keep it in this. Basically, it is a DVD player, or not DVD player, DVD case, and I keep it in there even when it's a little wet. If it does start to get a little bit of an odor to it, I take it out, I put it on, or I put dish soap on it, clean it off real good, and then put it back in there. And I clean it pretty regularly. Yep, gonna pull out my glue. I've already got my base here, and because I'm going cardstock to cardstock, there's where I put my accident. Don't you love that paper has or cardstock has two sides? Did you know that Stampin' Up! Is going to come out with cardstock that has 3 sides? Just kidding, but it does sound funny. Okay, so there we go. Good job. I love it. And my card is done. Now, I could, you know how I am. I like to always put a sentiment on the inside. So I'm going to take my dragonfly. And this time my dragonfly is going to come up from the top. Okay, put my dragonfly on the inside. And again, I would do, of course I cleaned it too soon, but that's okay. Clean it again. But I would also put my dragonfly or the cluster of dragonflies, something on my card. Remember, we never want to send a naked, envelope, nor, for that matter, a naked card on the inside. So quick. I literally did all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these, besides this one I just did for you, in probably 40 minutes. But if I had been doing multiples of each one of those, I could have done probably 15 in 20 minutes. I mean, it is amazing when you do multiples how fast this can go. So I hope you learned a little bit. Let me show you all the colors I used again, just in case. So we've got Pool Party, Pumpkin Pie, Cinnamon Cider, Highland Heather, and Bumblebee. I don't think I had told you Highland Heather. So we're good. Thank you so much. Oh, no, I didn't tell you all of them. My bad. Coastal Cabana and Polished Pink. Let's try it one more time if you need to take a screenshot. So it's Polished Pink, Coastal Cabana, Bumblebee, Highland Heather, Cinnamon Cider, Pumpkin Pie, and Pool Party. There you go. Final answer. All right, enjoy, guys. I hope you learned something. If you would, give me a thumbs up. I so appreciate that, always. Comments are also always, if you share this video on your Facebook page or wherever, that makes me very happy as well. And then if you want to show your combination of what you did for this particular combination of stamps, whichever stamp set you want to use, and then just either use textures and frames or watercolor shapes. All right. Have a great day wherever you are. Patricia again signing off here in Alaska.